Now, being from Riverside, I might be a little bit biased, but I don't think there's a property anywhere in the world that is more beautiful than the Mission Inn. The history that lives in the walls of the Mission Inn is second to none. I couldn't tell you the entire history of this property in 3 minutes. I couldn't do it in 3 years. But let's walk around and enjoy the history, the haunts, and the stories of the Mission Inn. The Mission Inn story began in 1876 when this property was known as Glenwood Cottage. In 1880, Frank Miller bought Glenwood Cottage from his father. And it was over the next 30 years that Miller transformed his property from a small cottage into what you see today. And in its time, the Mission Inn was a place where the elite did meet. 10 U.S. presidents have stayed here at the Mission Inn. Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy honeymooned here. Richard Nixon and his wife Pat were married here. And down in the bar is a custom-made chair built especially for William Howard Taft. Over time, like many things do, the luster of the Mission Inn kind of wore away. Nearby UC Riverside started using some of the hotel rooms as dormitories for their students. But by the 1970s, the Mission Inn faced some major financial issues and the buildings were deteriorating, and there was a heavy consideration by the city to demolish it. But the Mission Inn was saved because on May 5th, 1977, it was designated a National Historical Landmark. In the 1980s, there was an effort to restore the property that basically fell flat. But in 1992, Dwayne Roberts bought the property and restored it back to the condition you see it in today. Now, the one thing that people ask is the Mission Inn haunted? And honestly, being this old, being in downtown Riverside, oh yeah, it's haunted. If you've ever been to downtown Riverside, you know the stories about the catacombs. There's catacombs that go in between the Mission Inn to Mount Rubidoux, to the city cemetery, and all throughout the downtown area. There's been reported sightings of Frank Miller's ghost walking through the halls of the Mission Inn to this very day. If you want a haunted experience, you can go to Mission Inn and rent Aunt Alice's room that you can get for $600 a night, and they say that is one of the most haunted rooms in the entire property. But I will say, as beautiful as this property is, it does have a really weird vibe to it. There is cold spots, and some places in the property it feels like you are not wanted and you're being pushed away. On the other spots of the property, and you feel something almost pulling you in, like inviting you in, trying to keep you there. And like I said, if you're not following The Random Abyss, then what are you doing? Please click like, share, and subscribe. We're available on all major social media platforms. And you can catch The Random Abyss at our website, www.therandomabyss.net.